Fantastic. Welcome to DeRazzled, the podcast that takes award-winning worst films and fixes them. I'm your host, Jack Culbertson, and here along with me, as always, is also host Joe Nealis.
Welcome back.
We picked a movie so atrocious
that all of our thesaurus is burned.
We ran out of words after atrocious, that we burned B through Z. So here we are. Same sweaty rooms, same pants, same city water, same special guest, Scott McGrath. So where we left off, we had critiqued Saving Christmas.
I think critiqued is putting it mildly. I think we bore a hole through this movie.
Now, for those of you who haven't listened to part one, which is confusing, you should probably go do that.
I don't understand. But
Scott, would you like to give him a summary of the movie?
Yes. The Christmas is broken, and the only way to fix it is to buy more shit, y'all.
it's to buy bigger hams.
Bigger hams, bigger geese? Is that what he wanted?
Bigger geese.
I don't know if I've ever eaten geese. There was that one time I saw a goose fly into a light pole.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was a sight to see.
I've definitely been eaten by a geese, but I've never eaten a geese.
I know I got chased by one at a pond when I was like 6, but...
I've played the Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, yeah. That's
pretty fun.
Yeah, honestly, do you want to review that instead?
Do we want to review that? It's good. It's got a lot of replay value.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't. I've only watched people play it. I've not myself really dug into it, but it's delightful.
Cause a real ruckus is that goose.
Yeah. Terrorize that guy that looks just like Griffin McElroy.
Oh man! Unfortunately, we can't talk about the Untitled Goose game
Duck.
for the next hour and a half. We have to fix Saving Christmas.
We did contractually agree to do that, didn't we?
I don't know why, and people keep saying like that's a really good idea for a podcast. I'm like, yeah, until you have to watch this shit. So
No, it's okay.
We left off critiquing the film, quote unquote critiquing, but
Eviscerating.
we didn't answer the most important question, the question we always end our critique with, possibly because we don't need to ask it. Does Saving Christmas deserve its accolades? Gents?
Undoubtedly, I think.
It doesn't get enough hate.
I think does it deserve worst picture? It would have to be a picture.
Oh, can you be so far off prompt that you don't actually qualify for the award?
Right, like you just get an incomplete.
Doesn't say dogs can't play basketball.
No rule says we cannot airbud Saving Christmas out of its Razzie. No.
I'm sorry. What's your solution, Joe?
This is not the problem I expected to have to solve today.
The tables have been turned.
Oh boy. Great. Fantastic. I'm going to say yes. You guys say yes? Fantastic. Let's never think about that again.
Yeah.
In fact, you can really stop thinking about the movie altogether because we have a very strict series of rules for fixing movies here. But I didn't watch a movie. Scott, did you watch a movie?
I didn't watch a movie. Joe, did you watch a movie?
I'm pretty sure I did not watch a movie.
That was not a movie. So I feel no obligation to fix a movie that doesn't exist.
I'm pretty sure that means our rules don't apply.
Our rules don't apply. And actually, you know what I'm going to do, Joe? I'm not going to fix it.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to make a sequel.
Wait, what?
Today,
Oh, no.
I'll be pitching Saving Christmas 2, Pagan's Revenge.
Oh, no.
If you felt like you were a victim before, you were wrong. But now you are.
Oh, my God.
You know, Jack, something we didn't talk about. I think the budget for this film was like $500,000, I think. And it made like a couple in the box office.
The only thing I saw about the budget was somebody in a Rotten Tomatoes comment said something about $500,000 and that Kirk Cameron brought in $2.7 million off of
That's $500,000 budget, and it made a couple million in the box office.
Yeah.
I mean, $500,000 isn't a lot for a movie.
No,
but
it's not.
You do have to wonder,
Where did it go?
Where did it go? Like, the talent is like a church congregation and his sister. Right. And like, I don't know how much they're being compensated, but I'm just guessing, not Nicolas Cage money.
None of these people have a T-Rex skull addiction that they need to maintain.
And, I mean, honestly, like, how many actual shots are in this film? Like, it's got to be the shot per like runtime has got to be such a low ratio, because it's just like 6 shots per scene slowed down so much so they can cover the voiceover and pad it out to a feature-length film. Like,
just the amount of slow motion in this movie. There were times where I literally felt like I had dosed something and was just perceiving time wrong.
So just like, where did it go? I know shit's expensive, but like, what shit?
Would you guys like to hear my much more expensive film?
Yes.
Yep.
Great.
Very, very much so.
All right. Saving Christmas 2, Pagan's Revenge. We open on the same palatial abode, the same big chair and fire, but a clear mug with spiced apple cider.
Oh, you pagan.
In the chair sits a thin man with an even thinner mustache, dressed in a tight candy cane themed suit and Santa hat. John Waters looks into the camera.
Yes!
And gives a wry smile. Happy holidays, you gorgeous perverts.
I can hear him say it.
He sips from his mug, cinnamon clinging to his upper lip. In his lap lies a leather-bound tome. John explains that he has a doozy of a story to tell. A story where one lousy a-hole saves Christmas. He opens the book, and as though bursting from the pages, we are greeted by the screaming vocals of the Oakley Dokleys.
Wow.
The Flanders Metal Band? Oh my God, yes.
As the opening credits play, they sing Re-Education.
I'm in love already. Fuck yes.
In stark black ink, the nativity is redrawn by Todd McFarlane, showing...
Oh my God. This is expensive as hell.
It's very expensive. It gets much worse. Todd not only illustrates the nativity, but also the events of the first movie for those who didn't see it.
Okay. So we get a Spawn style recap.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
In the final frame, while the rich eat well, this is of the first movie.
Yeah.
The screen oozes India ink, the title of the film spelling out in negative, Saving Christmas 2, Pagan's Revenge. The letters sink into the black ocean. When the camera pulls back, we see that we're in close-up of a large man's lengthy black hair. This is Weston Cage. He sits at the base of the Christmas tree, pouting, a large rectangular gift between his legs. He glares off screen. We cut to the couch where his parents, Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter, sit. Holly smiles, excited to see the joy on her son's face. Nicolas Cage, dressed head to toe in Ned Flanders clothing, doesn't care. He could care less. No, he keeps checking his phone. Do you realize how hard it was to keep a straight face every single time you fuckers said Nick Cage throughout the first part of this?
We did say his name a lot.
Cage. Get it right.
Oh my God. I can't believe that we...
There's a couple things you guys called that I'm like, fuck. Well, even like the metal music. You're like, I want a metal. I'm like, yeah, me too.
Well, Scott already made that joke to us the other day. Like, he put together that trailer that I think we should share, because that is...
I got Nicolas Cage and metal. I'm happy, y'all.
So...
Where do I sign for financing?
Jack had mentioned to me that this is the dumbest thing he's written since Knife Pricker.
Oh, easily.
And that got me excited, and then I got worried because look what we're talking about.
Yeah. Now
I'm just the happiest I've been in days.
I should really quick, because we did do a disclaimer in the first episode.
Yes.
If you are a person who takes a Christian who takes the religion very seriously and doesn't like to laugh about it, I guess, you're not gonna like this episode.
No, you're not. I can tell already.
If you don't like movies like, I remember it now, it's Last Temptation of Christ was the Scorsese film.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And Dogma, any movie that like rewrites the narrative of the Bible, you're not gonna like this. It's not out and out crass, but it takes liberties.
It takes liberties. Okay.
I would say that
Not like Liberty
religious
University.
The sponsor of the film on YouTube.
I think if you have religious trauma, you're probably fine with this one.
So if you want to skip part 1 and listen to part 2,
you can just go straight to part 2. Great. Okay. with some encouragement from his mother. Oh, I also want to point out that we're reuniting Holly Hunter with Nick Cage.
I got that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
From Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I'm picking up what you're putting down. I'm sure the audience appreciates that.
Wes Cage opens the box. What he sees does not thrill him. Looking over his shoulder, we see a perfectly folded green sweater and brown khakis, the exact same attire that his father is wearing. He's had it. Throwing the box against the wall, Wes stomps up to his room, shouting, "I hate Christmas!" I assume that's how he sounds.
It's gotta be.
I spit so much. Nicholas jumps off the couch, yelling right back, "Don't you dare say that!" Wes's bedroom door slams shut. Nicholas turns back to Holly, boggled by the display. Holly gives Nick a disappointed look. That's what you gave him last year, Nick. And the year before that. Nick retorts, "It's important to have new clothes, honey."
Only Flanders. Only Flanders. Only Flanders.
But it's clear that this isn't going to fly. Checking the time again, Nick Cage promises to make everything better. But if he doesn't get downtown soon, who will lead the protest against those filthy pagans? Pastor Cameron says that the solstice is just a bunch of lesbos scissoring. Scissoring, Holly! Holly pleads for him to leave them alone. They're just holding a little winter solstice festival in the park. Nick calls her a traitor, saying that they're taking Christ out of Christmas. He stomps away, leaving Holly alone. Holding back a tear, she steps to the Christmas tree. With one hand, she reaches out, palming an ornament tucked towards the bottom. It's an ornate photo of Holly, Nick's parents, and little Weston smiling, enjoying Christmas as a family. Oh, Nick, what happened? This is very much a whatever popped into my head went on the page.
Oh yeah, no, I'm imagining this is
so similar to the actual movie.
This is a pseudo stream of consciousness anti-sermon.
Yeah, it very much is. First draft, if even that. We cut into the inside where Nick rushes downtown, inside of the car. He's on the phone with Pastor Cameron. This is Kirk Cameron, obviously. Promising he'll be there on time. Pastor Cameron asks Nick if Nick liked his gift, to which Nick forces a yes. An unopened copy of Saving Christmas, a DVD copy specifically, not a Blu-ray, sticking out of his coat pocket. Suffering a guilt trip, Nick becomes distracted by his disposable coffee cup. Instead of saying Merry Christmas, it has the gall to say Happy Holidays. Nick ain't having it. He takes the cup and with a Sharpie scratches the words out before writing over top, Merry Christmas. When he looks back at the road, he sees a large deer standing in front of his car. Nick swerves. The coffee spills. The car spins. And with the sound of crashing metal, the screen goes black. In the dark, we hear a deep, nervous voice. Hey, Nick, are you okay? A second voice, that of a teen boy, says, "Man, I told you to look both ways before you cross the street." Nick becomes conscious in time to hear, "We don't have roads at the North Pole." Nick sees a large, Big Bird-sized reindeer standing over him. This is John Goodman inside a Jim Henson's puppet suit. He looks rough, one antler busted, his red nose dull. Nick Cage freaks out, saying he must have hit his head. The deer, Rudolph, obviously,
Clearly,
explains that they've come to collect Santa Claus. Nick Cage argues with the deer, saying that Santa Claus doesn't exist. With a smirk, Rudolph says, "Maybe not on this earth, and maybe not in the way you imagine, but he does exist." Nick feels his head for lumps. Darren, the human boy, played by Caleb McLaughlin of Stranger Things fame, tells Nick that they need his help. Nick screams, "Why? Why me?" To which Rudolph says, "Because, Nicholas, you're this Earth's Santa Claus."
yes.
Having heard enough, Nick Cage stomps back to his decimated car, looking for his cell phone to call an ambulance. Rudolph pleads, "They don't have much time. This is one of the only Earths remaining." None of this works.
It's a fucking multiverse.
Until Darren shouts, "They stole baby Jesus!" Nick Cage stops, returning to the group. Rudolph extends an arm, a snow globe containing the nativity in his hoof. He shakes it, blotting out the image with artificial snow. When it clears, we discover that we've been transported to the nativity. Inside the inn, the wise men, Mary and Joseph, talk amongst themselves.
Not a cave?
Jesus, asleep in the manger, is surrounded by animals and the little drummer boy, who is also asleep. We get Nick Cage voiceover, who points out that the drummer boy is Darren, which Rudolph confirms. The peaceful scene is interrupted by two giant cat eyes that come out of the night sky.
McCavity.
You were so close.
no, seriously?
A moment later, and I cannot say this for the life of me, so we're just going to call it Hala the Yule Cat. There is a Norwegian Yule Cat that has a much longer name that is Norwegian as hell, and I've listened to it said by other people, and my mouth does not move the way it needs to be said.
Oh, okay.
So from here on out, it is called the Yule Cat, and it is a giant fucking cat, like 2-story tall cat.
Oh, shit.
Who stands over Jesus, voiced by Idris Elba. Who's doing this as penance for what he did in Cats.
You couldn't help it.
I couldn't help it.
I see.
God damn it.
Idris Elba the cat, the Yule Cat asks, "Where are your new clothes, little one?" Between claws, Yule Cat examines the cloth. Now, this just won't do. So Yule Cat visits children.
Okay.
And if they have not received new clothes, he eats them.
Oh.
It's Norwegian tradition, man.
Okay. I learned something today.
Yule Cat scoops Jesus from the manger. It's now that the little drummer boy awakens. Seeing the cat, he picks up his drumsticks, banging on his drum, alerting everyone inside. Pissed, Yule Cat swipes at Darren, cutting off both his thumbs.
Oh, God.
Darren screams, dropping his drumsticks, unable to hold them without thumbs. The cat disappears with Jesus just as Mary and Joseph arrive to see he's gone. Real-world Darren rants, asking, how's he supposed to be the little drummer boy without thumbs? He never asked to be the little bongo boy.
I mean, it's a good solution, though.
Nick isn't listening. He's locked onto the face of Mary, bereft, calling for her baby. Leaving the snow globe, flashback, Nick says he doesn't believe that that's Jesus, but he'll help that lady find her baby. He pulls out his phone to call an Uber, but Rudolph says they have a couple more stops to make first. Turning, Nick sees Darren with a set of bongos, magic bongos. Darren pounds some sick beats, opening a wormhole. Rudolph grabs Nick, and the three hop in, the wormhole closing behind them.
So, hold on.
Confused.
Sure. But the response to, I'm going to call an Uber isn't, that doesn't work here. It's, hold on, we have a couple more stops to make.
Right.
All right. Just making sure I heard that correctly.
So so like that's pretty like written out, right? So from here it's a little bit more bullet point.
Okay.
So we cut to a Viking colony in Germany where Dev Patel plays Klaus, the Viking Santa.
You brought Dev Patel back in here too. You brought poor
Merry Christmas. Just revenge of the Razzie actors. They all pagans.
I'm just glad you didn't call him Dave Patterson this time.
Dave Patterson wielding an axe. Actually, Scott, this is a really good idea. We should write like a fix where we only can use Razzie winners.
Oh, that would be fun to sell, actually.
But like John Goodman has never.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Dev Patel, as Klaus, Viking Santa, is slaying these shadow beasts with a massive axe. Nick Cage does not like this because it reminds him of his disobedient son, who is a metalhead, and therefore wears things and is incorporated with derivatives of Viking mythology.
Of course.
Without them and their shitty traditions, his son would love him. Anyway, they get Klaus to join them, saying he'll be able to rid the world of these shadow demons forever. Next, we travel to the medieval English town. A mob gathered in the town square.
Oh, Jesus.
A smelly bearded man wearing a paper crown, played by Daniel Radcliffe, is raised above the crowd. He proclaims, "I, your lord of Misrule, doth proclaim, let the fucking begin."
He would do it. He would absolutely do it.
Yeah, this is written for him.
He wrote just for that one scene. He's not seen again. Just there.
Just that one moment.
Yeah. Like, what's that? Just so somebody in the theaters can lean over to their girlfriend like, what's that? No, he wouldn't do that.
He would, though.
He would, though. Saturn, who is also played by Nick Cage, speaks with the team. We learned that he's the one who gave Darren the time-traveling bongos, because he's Kronos.
Sure.
As the holiday orgy begins, we see that the shadow creatures have followed the gang through the bongo hole. Now in the light, we see that the shadow creatures are actually thousands of Fred Phelpses. Their bodies stretched to be Slender Man-esque.
God, you planted the seed yourself, you motherfucker.
I had to create plot where there wasn't one. Rudolph, Darren, and Klaus defend the people who are too busy busy fucking to care that they're being murdered. It's an orgy. Nick Cage, however, is too busy arguing with Saturn, which is himself, saying this perversion has ruined Christmas. Unable to help the others, Saturn is taken by the Phelpses, as is Rudolph and Klaus. As they disappear into the butthole-shaped wormhole, Rudolph yells back, saying that he should have known Nick was a piece of shit. He's from the same Earth as that Kirk Cameron dick. Surrounded, Darren grabs hold of Nick and tells him to think of a place, any place he'd rather be, before more sick beats.
Of course.
The two reappear outside Nick's home, except that it's now a utopia where evangelicals rule the world. It's everything Nick could ever have wanted. His son, who loves him, dresses like little Lord Fauntleroy. He's still an adult. I don't know if I made that clear.
Oh, no, of course. No, yeah, as like current age.
Weston Cage. Holly has giant cans. He has a whole room of just T-Rex skulls.
It's a dream come true.
And most importantly, his mother is still alive. He tears up, saying that he's become the good Christian that she's always wanted. She hugs her son, happy to have him there. She then immediately asks what his court jester is doing out of his cage. This is Darren. It doesn't take long for Nick to realize he sort of put his mother on a pedestal after she died, and that she was actually super racist.
Oh boy.
Nick is taken to the giant pearly white castle that is the megachurch at the center of town.
Oh no.
This hub is overseen by Overpastor Kirk Cameron. Nick is one of his most trusted disciples, holding the high rank of Dungeon Master.
Fuck you.
Here, books are outlawed. The gospel given only through oration, so that, in the off chance that Overpastor Cameron needs to change the wording a bit, he just does and claims that it was always that way.
Sure.
Darren, now dressed in super racist attire, pleads with Nick to help him find the others. But Nick doesn't want to leave this paradise. However, after a night of quote-unquote procreation with his wife, which is akin to two 2x4s rubbing back and forth until warm, Nick is having some second thoughts. At work, Nick learns that the Dungeon Master is a literal title. His office is in the dungeon, which he is the master of. There he's amazed to find gods from every religion, chained and caged. He finds the imprisoned Rudolph and Klaus, but before they can make their escape, Nick is drawn to the furthest, darkest room. He discovers a man in robes with a beard on a cot, reading a copy of the Communist Manifesto. This is Jesus Christ.
Excellent.
So, give my voice a break. How you guys feeling about that?
I think we can call that maybe we'll call that a break for ads. It's a pretty powerful image to let people consider for a moment.
Let me live it with some more power. This is Jesus Christ. and ads. Welcome back. We're going to jump right back into Saving Christmas 2, Pagan's Revenge. As you'll have recalled, Nick Cage, who's the Dungeon Master in a evangelical utopia, has just gone to the furthest room in his dungeon to discover Jesus Christ reading the Communist Manifesto. Nick enters the room and speaks with Jesus. Jesus explains that he grew up as a prisoner of Kirk Cameron. Nick asks why Kirk would want to do that. He's an evangelical. A voice in the dark says, I can answer that. This is Satan, played by Steve Buscemi.
Oh, excellent.
So a little bit of evangelical history, which we should have said in our first episode. Evangelicals believe that after 1,000 years of misery, Jesus Christ will return.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's common knowledge or not, but I do want to point that out. Satan explains that in the original timeline, evangelicals, after having successfully caused 1,000 years of straight misery, brought about the end of days. When Jesus came to punish those on Judgment Day, the evangelicals were super pissed to learn that they were going to hell, and all the gays were not.
It's kind of like if you actively cause misery, you're kind of a dickhole and you get sent to hell for it.
This universe doesn't have any bearing on reality, and I'm confused.
Satan thought this shit was hilarious.
Of course.
That is until he saw that Rob Zombie was going to heaven. They had party plans. God fucking damn it. So he offered Kirk Cameron a deal. His soul for any wish.
No.
Knowing he's going to hell either way, Kirk wished to become a time traveler. Satan thought, fuck it, this'll be funny.
This will be funny. And plus, me and Rob still get to party.
Yeah, we had plans, goddammit. But he didn't know Kirk was going to time travel, time kidnap Jesus to prevent the end of days. Of course, Kirk still preached Christianity. How else was he going to be able to control his cult members? Slow clapping Kirk Cameron steps from the shadows to confirm.
Wait, he's also in the cell?
He walked in.
Oh, okay.
To confirm Satan's story. Not that it'll matter. The Earths are all collapsing in on this continuity, and then the evangelicals will live forever. He summons the Phelpses.
No.
Do you want to give a quick summary of who Fred Phelps is?
Oh, yeah, I can give you a quick and dirty crash course here on Fred Phelps. So he was the founder of the Westboro Baptist Church, who are, I mean, culturally irrelevant at this point.
Yeah.
This motherfucker died, if I'm not mistaken.
Like, most of his children have disowned him.
Yeah, like, but his church was the one that would always be around, like, holding up, like, inflammatory signs about how, like, God hates gay people with, slurs on them and so on and so forth. They would even, like, go to, like, the funerals of soldiers to, like people who died overseas, as their bodies were being brought home, and they would protest their funerals too. It was like, there was some weird, sick nonsense there. My favorite thing about them, though, is that there's a house directly across the street from their headquarters that is just the loudest, gayest looking house in the world. And
I thought you were going to bring up Red State.
Oh, but no, that is the other thing, is Kevin Smith's film Red State, a film which he insists is not political, which I think is incredibly frustrating to me. But
I don't... Okay.
He basically creates a Westboro Baptist-esque organization. John Goodman is the main character in the film. He's like the police detective.
He's the police. He's like the main antagonist.
Yeah.
And oh gosh, I can't remember.
Well, no, because John Goodman's not the.
I guess it depends on who you think the good guy is.
That's fair. Yeah, it was a rough movie.
It's weird and out there, and the Westboro Baptist Church also. Protested that, which I wonder if Kevin Smith infiltrated that protest. He invited them in to see the movie, and like whatever, because I think Fred Phelps was already passed at that point.
He had to have been.
I don't know why I said it like he passed. Like he fucking died.
Yeah, no, he's
like
warm. He was already warm food at that point.
Kevin Smith invited whatever daughter was in charge, and she's like, "Oh, Kevin, that movie's filthy."
Well,
and that's all you need to know about Fred Phelps.
Yeah, fucker's dead.
He's dead, and he was a piece of shit. Nick Cage tries to help Jesus escape, but Jesus says he's staying. He believes in humanity to do the right thing.
Don't. That's a bad idea.
As much as Nick wants to believe that too, he's seen what humanity did to him, what they did to the timeline. Jesus says yes, regardless, he has faith in people. Darren, hands swollen from too much bongoing, says he can maybe manage like one last escape. They will
Play
go
with your feet.
Yeah, I guess he could bongo with his feet. He has really tiny, thin legs. Just all the power is up top.
Oh, that's
skip leg day.
All of them.
They will go visit Mithra, the sun god, who sees all and will know where baby Jesus is hidden. And they do manage to escape as the Phelps fill the dungeon. They arrive in a massive city, a technological wonder. Nick says, this doesn't look like Iran. Darren calls him a racist, asking what he expected, tents and camels? But Rudolph says that Nick might be right, bringing everyone's attention to the giant flying bug blots out the sky. Unfortunately, they fucked up, going to Japan, where they found Mothra, not Mithra.
Oh, no.
Fucking idiots.
Before they can regroup, the Phelps come out of the residual wormhole surrounding them. A battle ensues. Mithra spit blast. I gotta be honest, I've never actually seen a Godzilla movie, so I don't know what Mithra does. Mothra does. But in this one, Mothra, which I'm pretty sure is female, spit blasts Phelpses.
Sure. It's fine.
Klaus cuts through them a path to the high ground. Dev Patel really gets screwed in this one. Like in this draft, he doesn't get the attention I would give him in like a second or third draft.
Sure.
Meanwhile, Rudolph begs Nick to think. He's from the same Earth as Cameron. Where would he hide baby Jesus? That's when Nick puts it together. Cameron hid Jesus in the one place no person would ever look, saving Christmas. Nick removes the copy of Saving Christmas from his coat, opening it, and like the Necronomicon, is sucked inside.
No.
Let's go back there.
Except now Nick Cage is in it.
Yeah.
He was already, you guys.
Nick Cage sneaks around the dance party in the living room, and there it is, the snow globe of the Nativity. Nick raises it above his head, whispers, "Rosebud, motherfucker," and chucks it at the ground. Baby Jesus rolls out unharmed. Now they just have to make their escape. However, when Nick rounds the corner, he finds Kirk, standing in front of a tree, his wife and son tied to it, guarded by I still can remember the name of the group at this point, so I named them the Fetal Fancy Fans.
Family Force 5.
And looming over everything is the massive Yule Cat. Kirk explains that this is Yule Cat. Yule Cat punishes children who haven't received new clothes for Christmas. Kirk says it's some stupid druid thing.
Of course he does.
He still doesn't know what that word means. Kirk asks Holly if she got any new clothes for Christmas. She says no. Then Kirk asks Weston if he got any new clothes for Christmas. A shame, Weston admits that he threw them away. The Flanders clothes.
He still got them, though. He still received them as a gift.
You found my only plot hole.
Well, guess we'll just finish it here. Check us up.
Ooh, boy. Kirk offers Nick Cage a trade. Baby Jesus for his family. To Kirk's surprise, Nick rejects his offer. Then Nick Cage starts undressing. He gives his shirt to his wife and his pants and shoes to his son. Standing in his underpants, Nick tells Kirk to hand over his family, but Kirk just smiles. Jesus doesn't have any clothes.
You gotta give Jesus some boxers.
Kirk puts his hand out. Again, he is denied. With baby Jesus in one hand, Nick Cage negotiates the removal of his tighty whities, then wraps them around baby Jesus.
In swaddling drawers.
Outraged, Kirk commands Yule Cat to eat Nick Cage. He commands everyone to eat Nick Cage. In slow-mo, the horde of Phelps rush Nick and Jesus. Yule Cat lumbering over top of them. What's that Olympic sport where they push the ice down? The
Curling?
The curlinged Christians. The character sliding towards Nick Cage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. Nick Cage hunches over to protect Jesus. Just as the tidal wave is about to descend upon them, Weston Cage, dressed in his dad's Ned Flander pants, hair thrashes his way through.
Yes!
Phelps flying off in every direction. He reaches his dad. They share a smile before Nick tells Weston to hold Jesus for him. Weston asks what he's going to do. Nick says he's gonna bust a nut. I forgot to look up a song, but this is done to some song by Inceptum, which is Weston Cage's metal band.
Oh, okay.
It's like a death metal band.
Okay.
For reference,
Very nice.
I could not. For those who are listening, I'm not a big metalhead person. Like it's just,
it's not Jack's cup of tea.
I'm an old person.
Me, however.
But like, and Scott, you're also an enjoyer of metal, I believe.
Yeah, like aluminum, magnesium, titanium.
There's not some tungsten.
The Oakley Dokleys. So like, I made it through like the entire Oakley Dokleys album. Like it was.
Yeah, Oakley Dokely is fun as hell.
Yes.
It's great.
It's Oakley Dokley.
Yeah. Thank you.
Whereas in Septum, I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I can't see you getting into that for half a second.
I tried. Anyway, they're playing death metal as the scene rushes forward. He screeches. There's double drums. Nick Cage does what Nick Cage do and goes a little like Nick Cage crazy, grabbing the people-sized nutcracker by the fire. He blunders, beats, and cracks his way through the Phelpses. he slides underneath Yulecat and crushes his nuts in the nutcracker.
Oh no! He goes right for Yulecat's trouble puffs.
Yeah. And then when he's only feet away from Kirk Cameron, Kirk runs, disappearing through a door of blinding light. I forgot it got stupider. I surprised myself that it gets even worse.
You are sticking to the original's motif.
Still naked, Nick Cage steps into a room made entirely of TV screens, each with a little Nick Cage on display. Nick watches as a... God damn it, Jack. Nick watches as a flaccid Kirk screeches across the floor, his lower torso replaced with a narrow meat tube. A second later, it disappears into a pair of slacks, like a tape measure sucked back into his plastic housing. The owner of this paper-thin metaphor, you see Kirk Cameron's a dick. Like it's a dick.
Oh,
he's a dick. He's a dick.
Gotcha.
And the meat tube is the shaft.
Yeah.
And then it's getting sucked back into a giant man's pants. It's a metaphor. The owner sits at the far end of the room in a big boy chair. Ooh. This pompous former presidential man-child is exactly who you think he is.
God damn it.
He smiles at Nick, saying, "Very good, Nick. It took you only half as long to reach me this time." He goes on to explain that Nick has gone through this cycle thousands of times. Joe, don't look at me like that.
I'm so angry. Thousands of times.
Each time choosing to reset the universe so that the evangelicals complete their 1,000 years of misery, make a deal with Satan, and then kidnap baby Jesus before Nick is brought back to this exact point in time. Did you want me to pause?
No.
Okay. The giant man baby says that he can make a deal with Nick. He being the art of making a deal, of course.
Yeah, sure.
Nick can choose to let the events play out, likely ending with the evangelical-led world we saw earlier, or he can reset things as he has done every other time. At least with that option, he gets 1,000 years before the world ends. Trump corrects himself. Well, 960, the countdown started when Reagan was elected. So that's my best guess, Scott.
I'll take it.
Nick Cage, rock hard, chooses option B. The orange toad blinks, returning Nick to battle. So he's like blinked back into the other room. Mm-hmm. Things have only gotten worse since he left. The room is filled with Phelps, his son and wife losing the battle. Weston throws up, having thrashed too hard and too long. Holly holds baby Jesus before her, using his beams of holy light to blast through the Phelps. But it is well past nap time, and baby Jesus is quickly fading. Then Nick sees Kirk, laughing maniacally at the far end of the room, and he gets an idea. Turning to the snack table, Nick grips the massive vat of hot chocolate. He lifts it over his head and dumps the scalding hot chocolate down his body. Teeth bared, Nick screams. The room goes silent, everyone looking at the steaming hot chocolate man. Nick Cage utters one word: Sly.
I should have known we had Scott coming on. You were going to make that reference.
Obviously.
We refrained earlier, so I'm pretty happy we made it this far.
With a running start, naked-ass Nick Cage belly flops onto the linoleum floor. Oh. Lubed up with cocoa, he glides towards Nick Cameron with unimaginable speed. He hits Kirk's legs, breaking them backwards. Oof. Nick then climbs on top of Kirk Cameron and plants a chocolatey moist kiss on his smug fucking face.
No, but it's not his wife!
The room awaits for Kirk's response. Kirk looks into Nick's eyes, terrified. Kirk smiles and whispers with astonishment, "You're hard." Nick jumps to his feet, proclaiming, "He's hard!" The Phelps screech, their muscles contract. With a Weasley voice, they quiver, "Gay, so gay," before bursting into a cloud of ash. Kirk tries to defend himself, saying it was just like a defense mechanism, but it's too late. Not only are the Phelps disintegrating, but so is the entire world around them. In a fit of rage, Kirk tries to strangle Nick. Kirk's hands outstretched. Nick bites down on them, spraying Kill Bill-style blood into his face as Kirk slowly floats away. He bites himself free because the hands are
just bites right through his wrists, just
with his thumbs. specifically.
Okay. So we're mirroring what happened to the drummer boy earlier. Okay.
Nick makes it to his family and Jesus. Weston, scared, they're being left in the dark. And they are. Soon it is only them floating through the void. Because the movies just disintegrate around them.
Okay. There we go.
It's created a void in the timeline.
Because now there was never a Saving Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there can't be a sequel if there's no one.
Yes.
I wish I could preserve that look you just made in formaldehyde.
My brain.
I want a Han Solo at that moment.
Oh, holy shit.
Shit. Okay, we cut back to Klaus, Rudolph, and Darren making their final stand. In the distance, we see Mothra going down, overwhelmed by the Phelpses.
Oh, no.
Rudolph, holding the open DVD case, looking at it, its inside's a black pond. He tells Darren that he thinks they've got Jesus, but he can't see them. Darren tells him to use his nose. Rudolph says he can't. He took a vow of darkness after the things he did during the Elf Day Massacre.
Oh, no. Can we get that movie?
Darren says it's okay. He can be forgiven. He was just a cog in the capitalist machine.
Oh, no.
You can really see where, like, whatever's coming in. It's just going to the page at that point.
You're just grabbing words. You had a Mad Lib.
Yeah. We cut back to the family, drifting in darkness, ready to give in. And suddenly, a red light appears in the sky. Nick Cage tells his family to grab hold of his feet as he swims towards the light. The DVD case explodes in Rudolph's hoofs. Nick, Weston, Holly, and baby Jesus appear, but they are no less saved. Nick tells Darren to get them out of there, but Darren says the bongos aren't strong enough. He'd need at least a... What's the big drum in a bass kit? Is it just like a bass drum?
It's a bass drum.
Okay.
Yeah.
He would need at least a bass drum for that amount of people. Not that it would even matter, because he doesn't have thumbs. Nick smiles before reaching into his mouth and producing 2 thumbs, slapping them on the thumbless boy.
God. Fuck.
But wait, he still doesn't have enough, a powerful enough drum. Klaus puts a hand on Darren's shoulder. Boy, have you seen this ass? Klaus turns, raising his tunic, revealing a real dump truck of a booty.
What?
Rudolph snaps 2 pieces of antler off to make drumsticks, handing them to Darren.
Oh.
Ow. God, it's extremely painful.
There's a strange amount of body horror in this movie.
Yeah. An astounding amount of body horror.
Over and over again, the group chants, "Harumpum-pum-pum, harumpum-pum-pum." Darren, equipped with a new pair of thumbs, be it racist thumbs, drums that Dev Patel ass so hard and so good, it cracks time and space. Everyone jumps in, and the screen goes black. As the sequel collapses in on itself.
Yeah.
We cut to Weston sitting on the floor, a Christmas gift sitting between his legs. We cut to a couch where Nick Cage, Holly Hunter, Rudolph, Darren, Klaus, and baby Jesus watch with anticipation. Weston opens the gift to find a massive spiked collar to be worn to Sunday Mass. I didn't know what evangelicals did. Was it a mass?
Yeah,
Okay.
it would be Sunday Mass still. Yeah.
Everyone hugs. Nick tells his son that he loves him just how he is. Klaus says he must be off. He needs to return baby Jesus before the ice giants discover he's missing. Looking into the camera, he says, "But that's a story for another day." Everyone laughs before we cut back to John Waters as he closes the book and sets it in. Originally, I had him set aside, but I think he's going to fucking throw it in the fire.
Yeah, I think that fits.
And it finishes by saying, "And yet I can't get funding for a movie."
Yeah.
The end.
Outstanding.
So here's normally where we would like compare and contrast the two like the movie and the fix, but like, good luck.
Yeah, have fun with that, someone. Jesus Christ.
I think yours is probably historically more accurate. Slightly less nonsensical plot holes, but more fun.
Slightly. It was fun as hell. Oh my god. I love the incorporation of all those other traditions and those little historical tidbits like that. I think that really helped establish the opposition to the original, and gave it some fun set pieces to play with and whatnot too. I mean, it. Jesus fucking Christ!
I feel like it was like just one long TikTok video of like, who's that Pokemon? And then like, it's Pikachu. It's the Phelps. Fuck! But like just one character after the other enters his foray.
It's John Goodman. It's Steve Buscemi as Satan.
If I were to lose my fucking mind and do a second draft of this, I would build the relationship between Rudolph and Nick Cage, so there's like more of a friendship there, and that's why I had them visit both the Viking land and medieval Europe before they were kidnapped, so they could build a relationship while they're in Germany.
Is this going to be what we do every Christmas now? As we add on to this fucking monstrosity?
Oh my god! Don't tempt me. Like each Christmas is a new draft until somehow we're out in the middle of Norway filming this motherfucker.
Oh my god! Somehow we actually get Nick Cage, Weston Cage.
We get John Goodman, but he won't do the suit. So it's just we just get like Mike to wear a giant fat suit.
Oh my god!
Oh man.
I need to know who Dev Patel's ass double is going to be.
You know, it's true. I was like, I should look at Dev Patel's ass before I write this scene because I don't know if it's quite as supple as I'm writing it to be. But,
and
he has some time to work on it.
He's got some time to work on it. Build them glutes.
Yeah.
Just,
fuck. I can't even it's normally like, well, here's why I did this and here's why I did this. I'm like, there's no reason.
No, this is, you latched onto a way to get started. Yeah. You pushed the snowball down the hill and just whatever stuck to it. Like this is the end result of your Katamari Damacy run.
Really, it's truly. Like I don't even remember what the starting idea was.
I'm not surprised.
I knew I didn't want to deal with Kirk Cameron.
I mean, yeah, you shouldn't ever want to deal with Kirk Cameron.
Oh, I remember what it was. I was like, the only relationship in the movie that could be fixed is Christian's marital issues. And I was like, I knew I wanted to use Nick Cage because I just wanted to. I was like, oh, he could have like marital issues. And like, well, but for what reason? Oh, because he and his son, which I knew, like Kal-El. But I think Kal-El is not in a metal band.
I don't think so.
Which is why I had to go with Weston.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I knew he had a son named Kal-El that looks like fucking Nathan Explosion from Metal Apocalypse.
He does. Yeah.
And then from there, my brain just multiplied like herpes.
Oh no.
Okay, so that is my fix for saving Christmas. Wow. Join us next Christmas for draft 2 of Saving Christmas 2, Pagan's Revenge.
I don't know if I'm like thrilled at the prospect of revisiting that or if I'm terrified.
It's only going to get longer.
It would have to, right? Like,
but I think
by that point you will have maybe watched a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, I'll definitely do my research on Mothra. The one thing I didn't research. What was this? Oh, you got the Matrix Reloaded reference, right?
Yeah, I had a feeling that was kind of what you were going for.
I didn't know. I've never watched that scene in the Matrix and thought, Donald Trump. That's what this needs.
Well, I wanted to show that evangelicals were basically the flaccid dick Republicans. Like they don't have any respect for, like Republicans don't actually have any respect for the evangelicals or the church. I mean,
no, they view them as useful idiots, basically.
Yeah. They view them as like ways to get elected.
Yeah. 100%.
Like as soon as Reagan was elected by the evangelicals, he basically was like, all that shit I said I was going to do. No.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could use Ronald Reagan, but then I wanted to use that Ronald Reagan joke somewhere else. So like, then I was like, I could use Mitch McConnell, but I needed like a more like iconic figure, and like I was like, I could use Nixon, which I think is hilarious, but I don't know.
It would be fun. It would be pretty funny, actually.
And then that scene with him and Nixon would just grow because Nick Cage just talking to Richard Nixon while Kirk Cameron's dick body's like limply sticking out of the zipper. Guys, I gotta go. I got some writing to get done tonight.
we get a call at 3.
Indeed.
We get a call at 3 a.m. Guys, I've written 150 pages. It's just this scene.
I took a bunch of Adderall. Fuck. How do you even end an episode like this?
I don't know. I feel like at this point, if anybody's even watching this, there's just our NSA agent Gary just kind of like shaking his head and crying.
I keep asking to be reassigned.
Why do they make me listen to this?
Sorry, Gary. Next year. So I guess since this episode won't even be in December. It'll be like this first week of January.
Merry Orthodox Christmas, everybody.
Yes. There we go. We hope you had a happy holiday, solstice, Christmas. We don't care what you celebrated. Just hope that it wasn't miserable.
Yeah, just have a good time with your loved ones. Celebrate what you want, what feels right to you, and
stay warm and try not to get too depressed. It's
it's rough out there.
Scott, is there anything you'd like to promote?
Yes,
Parents Pajamas.
If you'd like to contribute to the Kickstarter for Saving Christmas 2: Pagan's Revenge, please follow the link in the podcast info. And until then, you can find me lurking in the background of Twitch chat.
Thank you for all the support we've gotten. We've picked up a lot of listeners in the last couple of weeks, couple episodes.
I mean, hell, within the last like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just it blows us away, like how much support we've been getting for this show. This little stupid project that we've been just having fun with. People seem to really enjoy it, and we're really appreciative of that. Thank you for all the kind words. Thank you to anyone who has left reviews for the show. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser. You can review individual episodes and leave comments about what you liked on Good Pods, which is quickly becoming one of the best places for indie podcasting. Yeah. So check out stuff there. Check us out there.
We're gonna have stickers soon.
Shiny ones. We're gonna have shiny stickers soon. I know we kind of like half-heartedly talked about that like months and months ago, but like we're actually gonna do that. It's gonna be
and this will be our last episode before break.
And this will be our last episode before we take a bit of a break. We were supposed to take a break in December, and that did not happen.
Fucking cats.
Oh my God, we had to put so much work into cats. It really just like backed everything up. But we're gonna take a little break in January. We'll probably be back. We'll be back after that. We might have a little bit of something. We'll be active on socials, and
come back in February, because we're sure we will do something that Scott's gonna say.
We're gonna razzle dazzle.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.